Hanbury Hall is listed as a Grade 1 building built in the Queen Anne style around the turn of the 18th century, and although there is no firm account of its construction, it is believed to be around 1706. The hall was built by the wealthy lawyer Thomas Vernon. Thomas was the great-grandson of the Rev Richard Vernon, the first of the Vernons to come to Hanbury. Rev Richard and his descendants slowly accumulated land in Hanbury, including the manor bought by Edward Vernon in 1630, but it was Thomas, through his successful legal practice, who added most to the 8,000-acre estate. The hall's original plan included a large undivided central hall with a main staircase leading off it, with many much smaller rooms in the corner pavilions and the north range, with the south ranges consisting mainly of service rooms, all of which were typical of the time. After his marriage to Emma Vernon, Henry Cecil, the first Marquess of Exeter, and with the exception of the Great Hall, remodelled the interior in 1776, creating larger rooms and enlarging the north-east pavilion. On the south facade, having removed the doorway, he repositioned all the windows to lie under the first floor equivalent. On the south side there had been large formal gardens, clearly shown in the estate maps of the 1730s, but Cecil had these all cleared to create an open landscape park in the style of Capability Brown. The painting of the staircase, hall ceiling and other rooms were carried out by the English painter Sir James Thornhill. The theme of the wall paintings that wrap around the stairwell derive from the classics, featuring the Greek hero Achilles, and above is a large representation of the Olympian gods on the ceiling. George London designed the original formal gardens in 1705, heavily influenced by the gardens of the Palace of Versailles. At the end of the 18th century they were removed to be replaced by open spaces. However, the formal gardens were recreated in the 1990s using the original plans from 1705, and they were officially reopened in 1995. After a number of changes in succession, Sir George Hamilton Vernon became the second Baronet of Hanbury in 1920. Sir George led an unhappy life, separating from his wife Doris and spending his last 10 years living with his secretary and companion Ruth Powick, who later changed the name by deed poll to Vernon. During this time, the agricultural depression led to a reduction in rental income, and Hanbury Hall suffered a lack of care. In poor health, Sir George Vernon took his own life in 1940. There were no further heirs to the baronetcy, which became extinct. Sir George's estranged wife was able to move back in after his death, dying there in 1962. Negotiations led to the National Trust having the reversion, and after making essential repairs on Lady Vernon's death, the hall was let to tenants and open to the public on a restricted basis. In recent years, the hall has been managed more commercially and is now open daily, with the site receiving over 230,000 visitors a year.